What do you do when you have a PLC that only has a single port and you want the PLC to either send data through it to, say, an HMI or something, but you also want to access the PLC to do programming changes? This is a Rockwell Logix 5563 that has a RS-232 port that can either be set as DF1, which is the Rockwell standard protocol for like the SOCs, and in this case the Logix 5563. Now I'm using it here. As you can tell, it is connected to a computer that is running RS Logix 5000. But I wanted to make a program on the PLC that will send the hello world in ASCII format. Now I wanted to have like a selective mode, so the way I'm doing it here, I'm toggling between ASCII mode and DF1 mode just by toggling bits 0 and 1 on the PLC. This is the first input slot here. I'm trying to get it out of the sunlight here. This is a 32-bit DC input, 24-volt DC input board, and I'm using the 24-volt plus to toggle it like a push button or something. I don't have a push button right here. So into the program sequence here, the first rung on it, it's just so I can get the wall clock timer into a register here. So this here is just getting the wall clock transfer, getting system value from the PLC and into a date-time array, so I can access the year, the month, the day, the minute, the hour, the minute, and the seconds and the milliseconds. So that's how it's transferred. Now the following rungs, it's where the magic begins here. So this is something I borrowed from a online forum. So this function here just moves this decimal value into the attribute data, and this way you can select between ASCII and DF1 mode. So by toggling and untoggling these two inputs, you change the attribute on the port itself. So this here, the path and the message instruction should below should be 1, processor slot number, and here I'm changing the attribute itself, so the attribute data gets transferred. So right now it's 93. Just get that. It's doing something here. Yeah. Hold on, trying to scroll down here. So this is where I actually select by toggling bits 0 and 1. You can either select ASCII or unselect it and go back to DF1. This way you can connect it to a computer to send messages. Like you can have a machine, let's say you don't have a panel view, but you do have a computer and you have a serial port and you want the PLC to send you text error messages or status or something. The next line is just the hello world thing here. So if ASCII mode request is selected, after 5 seconds, so this allows you to open up hyperterminal, it will start sending here's ASCII write append, so it's appending this string of characters here. This is a string value, which is called in Spanish cadena de caracteres, which is string of characters, and then it's running it to the serial port control structure, which is right here. Length is 12 bytes, 12 characters, and I'm using the date-time the fifth value in the array, bit 0. That's the bit I'm using to toggle or send the hello world every second. So let me just go here into offline mode here, and I'm going to close this. Let's save changes here, yes. And I'm going to stop DF1 from running here. It's running here on RS links, so the port is released. I can access it. Stopped. Okay. So I'm just going to minimize this, and I'm going to open hyperterminal. No. Okay, I'm going to click on this. Open all. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to create a COM1 COM session. I am using COM port here because my RS-232 to USB adapter, it's actually on here. If you open device manager, you can tell where your interfaces, USB to serial, the very common CH3340, so port number 4. And I believe it's I forgot what's the baud rate, so I'm going to open up my project here. Okay. I'm going to open up. Yeah, I forgot what. Oh yeah, I can have done it with RS links here. Let me see what the settings is for that. Yeah, 19,200. Alright, so 1900, 2000, which is right here. Power, okay. I need to close this, so I need to actually close it. So I need to, again, yeah, because both the RS links and hyperterminal both are trying to access the same serial port, and that's not allowed. Okay, I need to connect to it, connect it, and let me see if I can toggle this. So right now you can see there is no communication on the RS-232. I'm going to toggle the input here. You can see that it will turn on, and after 5 seconds I should get some activity. Let's see if I'm toggling it right. Am I doing it right? For some reason I'm not getting 24 volts here, which is kind of weird. Let's see, what am I doing wrong here? Hold on, let me just pause this. Alright, I got it solved. I got the 24 volt power supply inverted, so that's why I couldn't get the status change. So I need to toggle bit 0 here, which I'm toggling I think right now. You can tell there's already sending data to the RS-232. You can see it blinking. And on your screen here, you're getting the hello world text message every second. You get the hello world, and you untoggle it by pressing the other bit 0 here. I'm trying to get it out of the sunlight. See. should stop now. So the hello world, it went back into DF1 mode. Hello world stopped. So this way you can go back and you can disconnect now the hyper terminal. Minimize it. You can then open up our links, and you should be able to see the PLC again. There it is. But if you happen to change the modes, so you can see it, it's there. It's in auto browse, so it's always looking, always scanning. You can see it if it's running or not. Is it running? Yeah, it's running. So it's looking at this driver here, and it found this PLC, which is serial port mode switch. That's the name of the PLC. But if I toggle the ASCII mode, which is incompatible with our links, I'm trying to get to the terminal here. That should disable DF1, and the PLC is now, it's not found because it's not in DF1 mode. So in this way you can like have your PLC connected to a computer, send like error messages or just status messages. You can also, just by flicking a switch, so like between diagnosis, which is like hooking it up to your computer, and like running mode, which could be like sending ASCII characters, and you can also feed back from the hyperterminal into the PLC. So this is how you can probably start your project, by interfacing the PLC to hyperterminal. You can also make something on panel, on say Visual Studio, and make your own customized HMI or SCADA software. Some thumbs up if you like it, and stay tuned for next videos. Bye.